Hi there, Nick Dutch, back on the camera again one more time, still need another introduction. This is a video about a message that I got. This was sent through on private message. I'm not going to mention the name of the person who sent it through or their channel name because I don't feel like it. But anyway, I'm going to read through it and I'm going to comment as I go along so you get a take as to where I'm coming from and what my point of view is. The private message starts off with, I'm interested in magic but don't quite understand how it relates to reality. Well, that depends upon what you mean by magic, doesn't it? Okay, it's just a word. It's been used by so many different people in so many different ways it kind of loses its meaning. Most people tend to go by the Crowleyan definition that magic is the art and science of causing change to occur in conformity with the will. However, they fail to understand the fact is that Crowley was saying treat life as if it were magic and try and be scientific and artistic about everything that you do and everything you say and the way that you are in life, and therefore it's just like a kick up the backside to intellectually lazy people to try and get them to think, to try and learn what scientific thought is and to apply it to their life. And he then spoke of the magical tradition, which he called unempirical, and the people who do use the science and arts to cause change to occur in conformity with the will definition associated with supernaturalist or cult type stuff should actually start thinking a little more, alright, to try and be more scientific about what they're experiencing, but most people don't because they base stuff on faith. So as far as how it relates to reality, if you're talking about faith-based stuff, how does that relate to reality? Well, that's up to the believer. Okay? Pure and simple. Do ghosts exist? You can maybe you can experience them, maybe you can see them, but does that necessarily mean to say that something actually exists, taking into account, the inner workings of your mind? Bottom line is, no, it's a personal experience you can have, and you can try and break down and analyze to a certain degree what that personal experience could have been caused by. Now that could be a change in your diet, that could be too much in the way of meditation and prayer, which is good because of course I do that deliberately to try and generate these experiences, and so on and so forth. But you need to apply a little more thought as to what the words that you're using as an occultist, as a new ager, as a whatever you want to call it, means. The message goes on. Yes, there are ritual stroke symbols, but what is the result of doing stroke using them? Again, it's very hard to say. All that we can say is that an individual can build up associations between ideas. If they do a ritual or a prayerful exercise, which is basically what it is, but involving action and words, then it's going to have an impact or an effect upon their mind somehow. That much we can say. Now, different cultures have different understandings as to what colours mean. Okay, I've seen one definition of the colour blue, meaning the colour of despair. Okay, I've seen another definition of the colour blue being the colour of healing. Yes. So, people build up associations. You've got to do it basically yourself, or in accordance with what your particular culture or your particular religion or your particular faith structure actually is. And I don't think it's worthwhile having someone laying it upon you. Alright, it's not worthwhile, really. So long as you can do your, ritually thing with a good beginning, a good middle, and a good end, and you've done enough practice and meditation to be able to alter your mind and enter into that reverent, tranquil, prayerful state of being, this sort of church-like, cathedral-like state of mind, which is absolutely beautiful when you're actually doing it, then something might happen. Or alternatively, it might not. But the way that I see it is you use your symbols and all the rest of it as a means of doing something to your mind. The message goes on. Clearly, angels in heaven and demons in hell are fictions man has created, so how is it possible that people claim to come in contact with them through their practices? Firstly, people claim shit. Period. People claim shit. How is it that people claim shit? Well, they're mental, they're attention-seeking, they're a bunch of lying, cheating, stealing bastards. They're just after your money. That's how people can claim that, their Ouija board levitated and sulphurous fire came out of it and a demon covered in scales jumped out of it and farted lava all over the walls and everyone went insane and had to go to a mental asylum. People claim shit. You might as well see it as being lies or extrapolations or exaggerations or just plain bullshit. People claim shit, okay? They do it. But strange experiences just happen once in a while. And I've had an angel experience, and it was weird. But does it necessarily mean to say that yes, there is an angel, yes, there is a God, and all the rest of it? We don't know. But these strange experiences happen, and we are beings who can, under some strange circumstances, have some strange experiences. Brought about by, you know, doing your meditation, doing your prayerful stuff, and, you know, practicing. Could it be useful? Maybe. I mean, I'm giving you a very skeptical message at the moment because it's important to have a skeptical state of mind. Otherwise, you're just going to end up a complete lunatic. You can end up like terrified of like carved pieces of wood that someone's got in their house and all kinds of weird shit. You just relax. Yes, I've had plenty of experiences which would make me think that there is more to life than this, and it gives me sort of like a personal spirituality or of sorts based upon strange experiences, which is cool, very cool. But I also have doubts, and having doubts is intelligent. If you have no doubts, you're missing out on a few stages of intellectual thought, realistically, aren't you? Okay. And perhaps, sorry, this PM goes on. And perhaps the most perplexing is how they experience the same things, describe the entities the same way, irrespective of the fact they are fictions. I'll be honest, horror movies have scared me since I was a kid, so can someone enter the world of magic without getting involved in the more dark side of things? Okay. The fact that people describe the same things, I don't know. Maybe there is something there. Maybe there is not. But the thing to do is not to be worried. Because when you're dealing with something you don't know too much about, and there's someone trying to force a belief in you that yes, you've got to be terrified of the spirits, or you've got to be terrified of the demons, and they could come and get you. I mean, oh God Almighty, people like that are just stupid, sad, arrogant wankers who basically, they get a kick out of thinking that they've got you under their thumb. That's all they're doing. They're satisfying their own sadomasochistical desire to have someone under their thumb and to bully them into submission. That's what these people are like. Alright? So just throw that out the window. Forget it. As far as being involved by horror films, well, they're fiction. Okay? I could stand here or sit here and tell you that there is the devil at the end of my road, and I could describe him in great detail, and I'd say that don't ever come down my road or the devil will get you, yes. Yes. But that would just be a fiction. Alright, so if it's fiction, don't worry about it. Alright, don't take this stuff too literally. I mean, don't get yourself afraid because someone is trying to scare you. It's a horror film, for crying out loud, okay? Horror films are made to scare you. And if someone is trying to scare you, do you necessarily think that they're actually telling you the truth? No, they're just trying to scare you. Because they're sick, or it's entertainment, or something like that, okay? So don't be terrified. I mean, I used to know this complete lunatic, oh my God, and he actually believed that there was some truth in every form of fiction, to the point whereby he thought that all fiction was true, not that there could be something allegorical there or metaphorical that you could possibly introspectively get something from. No, it was all true. And so that led him to be rather surprised that when he visualized his body disintegrating, he did not travel in time and space. He was actually surprised about that. There are people like that out there in the world. Don't become like them. Don't. It's bad for you. And, if you hang about with those people for too long, it can actually be quite damaging to your mentality. So, avoid people who are deliberately trying to scare you. Then as far as the more dark side of things, well, how do you define that? Is someone on the dark side because they are dressed like a goth? Am I on the dark side because I'm wearing a black sweatshirt and a black hat today? What is the dark side of things? Oh, the devil, satanic. Well, does the devil exist? Are people who call themselves satanic necessarily people who eat babies? It's made up. Just, there's many moral codes in our life. Just don't be an arsehole to yourself or other people is probably the best one to have. If someone's being too much of an arsehole, there's something wrong with them. Keep away from them. They're mad, just look after yourself. The PM goes on. If this is just all an intellectual exercise, how can it be dangerous? Okay, this is a psychological exercise. So, I mean, a lot of occult stuff is psychological. You change your state of mind, you change your brainwave frequency through your meditation, through your prayer, and all the rest of that stuff, through practicing over a long period of time. And weird stuff can happen. And it can freak you out. And people who are not too intellectually astute can start believing too heavily in what they've experienced rather than not giving a shit. Okay? If you don't give a shit, you're not going to go crazy. And the reason I can say that is it's taking these things too seriously. Okay, so what if I saw the angel of death one day? So what? Who cares? Is that going to stop me from having to pay my bills or do my work or deal with my family and deal with my friends and get on and get by in society? No. So that's a strange experience, just a strange experience. We can't fully say what it means, so shove it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so what? There's all the people say, no, this is so important, so important, so important. You've got to believe it. They're wankers, okay? Just forget them. They're not telling you the truth. What's most important to you is your survival, your family, your friends, alright, building your life up, getting on with your career, enjoying regular life, and being responsible for yourself. That's what's really important, for you personally. All of this extra stuff, this is an add-on to life, something else you could introduce into your life, that you may get some personal benefits from. But some people, because they end up fearful and superstitious, they're not going to get any benefit from it. Alright, because they're ending up going more and more and more paranoid, schizophrenic and terrified of life, but nothing good is ever going to come of them. Alright, and they're just going to end up trying to spread their sickness, their own suffering onto other people to make them feel better. You don't have to become like them. I seriously recommend you don't become like them. And so, if you want to try and find out about the occult and magic and the rest of it, don't hang out with all of these people who are, just saying, I am a great magician, and all this kind of bullshit, okay? Some of them can be quite disturbed, mentally. Alright, so, and as far as trying to learn from people who are of a religious group, why? They are religious. They have beliefs. And beliefs are not scientific facts, are they? No. Now, if you're on YouTube, there's plenty of videos out there about logical fallacies which you can use to learn more about how to think and how to reason, how to challenge your own conclusions that you've come to. Find them, use them. Get yourself a deeper education so that you can challenge your own ideas and those of people who are trying to, do all this kind of like weird mind fucking with you, okay? So, prepare yourself intellectually. Not just through looking at science videos, but looking at videos about logical fallacies, about reasoning, alright, and how to apply this, and think about it. Take notes, learn as much as you can from these things, so that when someone comes at you with a stupid, a statement which is not analyzable or breakable down by science, unfalsifiable, I think is the word, then you can actually criticize it. Make yourself intellectually stronger so you can do that, okay? And don't drive yourself mad. I think it's mainly the people involved in the occult who are actually lunatics. So I know I'm a person who's involved in the occult, okay, but on the other hand, I'm one of the sanest people out there. Give or take. It says here, I'm also confused about the difference in systems. Are they all just someone's made up rituals? Yes! Anything written down by a person that is of a religious or a spiritual nature has been written down by a person. It says here, why the need to rigidly follow something strictly laid out? Okay. People want to convert you to their interpretation of a religion. They want to think they've got power over you. They want to try and warp your mind so that you are pliable and you do as you are told by them. So they try and weaken you to the level of a child by saying, you must obey, you must obey, you must obey, I am your teacher, I am your teacher, I am your teacher. Alright, that's what they're trying to do to you. They're trying to take away from you each and every single tiny bit of intellectual thought that you have and any ability to analyze life or analyze anything around you through trying to terrify you into obeying them. So as far as rigidly doing as someone says, don't. And if anyone tries to make you rigidly do this, that and the other, raise your middle finger and repeat this magical incarnation after me. Fuck off, you lying, cheating, stealing, evil, mad motherfucking bastard. I don't respect you at all. Piss off. And you'll be amazingly surprised at the wonderful results that you will get. Namely, they will go purple in the fucking face. It's great. Because they will realize that they've got no power over you. And they never can have any power over you because you are more powerful than them, because you can think and you can challenge them. Okay? You got to look after number one in this world. Comment goes on. I've tried reading up on it, but there's so much information. It's like a foreign language to me. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Okay, well, what you've probably been reading up on is people's religious views. Okay? I've mentioned this book before. I personally like it. Alright, it's Transcendental Magic. It's one of the classical occult literatures out there. But basically what this guy is trying to lay down is a form of Judeo-Christian witchcraft, basically. But it's his own interpretation. The symbols and the rest of it, its own interpretation. The prayers in here, if I can find some at random. Well, I probably can't just off the cuff because I haven't rehearsed this video, I haven't scripted it. As you can probably tell through some of my ranting. Okay, where is it now? Here we go. His interpretation of the six-rayed star. Very pretty, very classical cult, okay? Looks nice. Who was it created by? Him. Alphonse Louis Constant, a French geezer. A French geezer. Alright, that's it. He's just a fucking French geezer. You don't have to give him any more respect. I like some of the things he said. Some of the other things he said, I think, he's been a superstitious little wanker. And he hasn't really thought too far. Okay? So what you've been probably reading into is people saying to you, this is my religious interpretation of what happens and how it should be done. Because they all want to be great cult leaders. And you, if you're asking me these questions, you don't want to be, do you? So what I've been doing in this video, if you've been patient and listened this long, is to express a slightly more doubting message, and a slightly more doubting message for the purposes of trying to maintain your sanity. Hopefully, my ranting and raving will also have done you some good as well, and will hopefully have either made you smile, or would have given you a bit of perspective. One of the many reasons why I do these videos is to try and stop people from ending up being treated like shit by people of a certain New Age type, who are dogmatic fundamentalists, who are just out there to try and control you in one manner or another. Okay? Because I hate them. Because they're not doing people any good. Alright? Because if their definition of magic is the art and science of causing change to occur in conformity with the will, why are they filling you full of dogma and superstition? Why? Because they don't know the first thing about scientific thought. And as far as artistic creativity, they haven't got any artistic creativity. And they don't want you to have any ability to think either. And they don't want you to have any creativity either. They don't want you to have any skill either. They want you to be a political puppet for their own benefit. Okay? To obey them. And there are people in Wicca, there's people in the OTO, IoT, all the rest of that. There's lots of them out there. Not everyone. But there's lots of people out there who are that sick, that mentally twisted, that intellectually perverted, that just plain fucking sick. Just, they're out there. And, you know, don't become like them. Don't socialize with them. A lot of them are just people who've got like serious issues, and a lot of their issues are because they've been bullied as a child, or because they've got some kind of health problem that stops them from being able to live the life that they wanted to, because they feel like they themselves are being pushed down and they're trying to push themselves up. This is the mentality of like the far right extremists. This is the mentality of like the serial killer. This is, you know, there's so many people out there who've just got serious issues, and I've come across my fair share of them. And partially because of that, I'm here to try and lay down a few different points of view about this subject. Alright? And this is why I call myself a trans-deist, because deists doubt. They doubt literalism, they doubt fundamentalism, but they have their own spirituality. And the trans bit of trans-deism refers to the attempts to get transcendental experiences through meditation, prayer, and other practices, and not to obey because some sick fuck has told you to. God bless.